The state of the vote for the President of the United States as delivered to the President of the Senate is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris.
So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
Hey friends, so the apocalypse continues. So don't worry, this is the good apocalypse. If you didn't know, that word is a Greek word that actually means the lifting of the veil of deception. So that word used to be used anytime there was like an era where things were corrupt and bad and lies were perpetrated and everything. And then you came to a period where the light was shined on the darkness and the truth came out and was exposed and all the bad people crumbled, and that ushered in this new age, and that was called the apocalypse. It was the lifting of the veil, okay? And then Christian, religions came and basically turned it into the end of the world. Well, for some people it is the end of their world, but it's not the end of the world. So what is happening in the world? Well, if you haven't heard, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, just resigned, which made a lot of people in Canada happy. And that's significant because he has been in rule there for like 10 years and he's very powerful. And he quit, which is crazy. It sends shockwaves all through the political systems around the world. But those political systems are already in free fall. It's not just Canada. Germany is in the middle of a collapse. France, Austria, South Korea, their president was just basically arrested and impeached, and then the person they put in charge for him was impeached on top of that, and in UK, our biggest ally, they are going through crazy turmoil right now where Starmer, I think they call him the prime minister over there, is in the middle of basically getting all these no confidence votes, and Elon is like launching a war on him because there's like these, I can't even say the word here, but there's bad people doing bad things over there, and evidently it's been covered up by the governments and it's being exposed right now. So you see all that, and then on top of it, we have our new transition coming in here. So what do we see? We see change on a level we've never seen before around the entire world, sweeping the globe. All of these control systems, all of these powerful governments that have been ruling for so long are collapsing. And why are they collapsing? They're collapsing because of the people. They're collapsing because of the way that information flows around the world now. It's much harder to get away with things. It's much harder to hide things and be evil because the light is getting shined from every direction into the darkness. And that's what an apocalypse is. It is bringing light to dark. It is lifting the veil of deception. But also what it is change. And change is uncomfortable. So I bring this up because so many people right now are talking about how they feel weird, right? Like, it's hard to ignore. There's a palpable tension in the world right now. Everyone's like, I don't know what's happening, but it's freaking weird, right? Every time you turn on the news, you're like scared. Like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen today, right? This is change, and change can be uncomfortable, and change can be weird, change can be scary. we're only 6 days into this year, and it's just like, oh my God. So this is all good. I really think that this is good. This is the end of an old era and the ushering in of a new era. The problem is these people don't want to leave. They don't want to relinquish control. They don't want to just, sail off into the sunset. A lot of them don't want to go to prison. So they're going to fight. They're going to make things very awkward for everybody. So we have to just come together as people, as humans. This is our earth, okay? And we have to say, hey, it's going to be weird. We're going through this like detox, this cleanse, and we just have to make it through this rough patch, because then after this, I think it's going to be good, right? And it doesn't matter if you who you voted for or anything like that. I think that all this means is transition. Like, I'm not a Trumper, okay? I've been called that many times by many people, because if I ever even say his name, I get labeled that, but I'm not. There's a lot of things about the man I don't like, period. But I see him as a representation of change and of dramatic change. And I think that this country needs dramatic change. I think most countries in the Western world, in the civilized world, need change. I think that, we've been doing things a certain way for a long time, and it got us to certain levels, certain checkpoints. But overall, I think that we are just scratching the surface of our potential. And I think most of these control systems are keeping us from reaching our potential. So I think that it's the time for change, and this is the time. And I see the guy coming into office in our country as representing change. I see what's happening in Canada representing change, what's happening in Austria, what's happening in France, what's happening in, the UK, what's happening in South Korea, what's happening in Germany. All of this is change, and it's being demanded by the people. And I've never seen anything quite like this. And I think it's pretty exciting. But I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna get a little weird, okay? If you haven't noticed. But anyways, I think it's good. Let me know what you think. Have a beautiful day. Peace.
Yeah, so I usually do my news blast, just once a day. But in the last 2 minutes alone, Elon Musk has suggested that United States of America should liberate the UK, maybe with an invasion, I'm not sure, but, terrific. Andrew Tate has said he's going to stand to be Prime Minister of Great Britain. I'm presuming that might be after Elon Musk has liberated it. Tommy Robinson, whose name was banished, has now been trending on Twitter/X for about a week solid. Keir Starmer says that majority Pakistani Muslim grooming gangs /rape squads are actually a far-right problem. Not quite sure where he's going from with that. And then we have Trudeau in Canada, who has just resigned. Finally, Jess Phillips still looks like a walking foreskin. And that's just in the last 2 minutes. Okay, more soon. Everything's normal here in 2025.